frequency is not something that happens to you. It's something you choose. You choose it in a million of different ways. And remember that a new standard is always available for you. And what you desire, not talking yourself out of what you truly want. How honest you allow yourself to be. Examining where you're at without judgment. Just be the observers, be the witness of what's going on inside of you. How present you are, willing to stay, deciding to not close your heart and harden, but deciding to stay open and receptive. And living on the frequency of love doesn't mean life is always soft or easy. Welcome to The Rise Show, a podcast for highly driven and spiritual women with big ideas, dreams, and visions. Audacious women just like you, who are committed to their evolution and obsessed about all things personal growth, spirituality, manifestation, and feminine embodiment. I'm your host, Nathalie Banaszak, feminine success and branding coach, and I'm here to support you on your journey and path of expansion. I know you're ready for so much more. Permission granted to go for greatness, your wildest desires, and the most radiant and full expression of the brand called you. Are you ready? Let's begin. Hello, and welcome back to The Rise Show. For a special one, we'll call it our Christmas episode, as it's the last one that drops before the holidays. So my intention is to get into the heart of it all and remember what everything is really all about. Not only the season and Christmas, but as a celebration to all of life, which very much includes every season. And love as a frequency, the highest there is, holds a wide range of emotions, such as gratitude, presence, and togetherness. Because there is something about Christmas and this season that naturally seems to bring us all closer to the heart, not just sentimentally, but energetically. Just look at the core message of most PR and media around the holidays. It's all about love. Because when we allow the noise to soften, and when we allow the pace to be more slow, when the lights come on and the world starts to feel just a little bit quieter, we begin to feel more. So what is a feeling? What is an emotion? Do they just come and go, or are we actually available to control in what state we choose to live in as a default? And at least for most of the time. I use control here in a very positive sense. So stay with me, because this is about how we choose to navigate our inner world. And it's not something society teaches us by default at all. Today's episode is exactly about that. It's about love as a frequency, not as an ID, but as a lived and chosen state of being. So we often talk about energy, vibration, manifestation. I talk about these things all the time, but at the core of all of it is something very simple and very powerful. The frequency you live in is the identity you choose. The key word here is choose. None of us are ever doomed to a specific state. Neuroscience and quantum physics and beyond shows us that clearly. And the only secret there really is about manifestation is to consciously choose your vibration and learn how to live in harmony with spiritual laws. So let's do a quick recap to simplify what's what before we dive into this episode. We begin with emotion and feelings. This is simply the human experience of a specific energy. So you can view vibration as the underlying energetic signature you hold. So a vibration has a frequency. A frequency therefore describes the vibration. Think of it like this. You can't have frequency without vibration. And vibration is characterized by its frequency. So higher energy often leads to a faster vibration, which means a higher frequency. And the highest, most stabilizing, most expansive frequency available to us is the frequency of love. So today, the day before Christmas, well, depending on when you're listening to this, because here in Sweden, we actually officially celebrate Christmas one day before the rest of the world on December the 24th. So anyway, I want to invite you into a heart-centered conversation about gratitude, presence, togetherness, and what it truly means to live with an open heart. Because it's a very big difference from being heart-based and actually living with an open heart. And inside Rise, we know that keeping our hearts healthy and open is non-negotiable. I could also phrase myself like this. It's about making radical alignment a priority in every domain of our lives. So when we speak about desires and manifesting, then we inevitably will speak of elevated emotional states of being. We're going to speak about vibration, frequency, energy. We're not talking about something abstract or mystical in a disconnected way here at all. We're talking about how you relate to yourself, to life, to the world, and to your truth. So frequency is not what you wish for. It's what you embody. It's how you move through your day and the world. It's how you respond when you're triggered. It's how you treat yourself when no one is watching. And how honest you are with your desires. It's about how present you allow yourself to be. I could just keep on going, but you get the picture. So from a quantum perspective and from a leadership perspective, manifestation is not about forcing outcomes. That's what we are moving away from here. When we are trying too hard, we automatically get sucked into control mode. And this is not in the positive way, because feminine manifestation is truly all about alignment with truth, your inner truth, not a programmed truth that has been conditioned in your subconscious. And here's something I want to say very clearly. Your wildest dreams and desires are never random. They are expressions of your most authentic truth. And we speak about dreams and desires, and this is how I view desire. And I'm inviting you to this perspective. What if desire is intelligence? Desire is inner guidance. Desire is frequency calling you forward. And when we suppress our dreams and desires, when we minimize them or judge them or try to talk ourselves out of them, we don't become more loving. We become disconnected. And as I view it, our disconnection to ourselves is what creates most of the problems our world is facing. Because when we disconnect from ourselves, we naturally disconnect from each other too. And love wouldn't behave that way, because love requires truth. As I mentioned earlier, there's an important distinction I want to give more space in this episode, because many people describe themselves as heart-based, and that's beautiful. But being heart-based is not the same as living with an open heart. That takes something. That's a bold, courageous practice. Because you cannot live with an open heart if you are not staying true to who you truly are. An open heart does not mean self-abandonment, overgiving, bypassing your needs, tolerating what doesn't feel aligned. That's not love. That's survival. Living with an open heart means honoring your authentic truth, listening to your inner guidance, choosing presence over performance, choosing integrity over approval. And this is where love becomes leadership. Because love is not passive. Love is a conscious choice. It's always about choosing to stay present, choosing to stay honest, choosing to stay aligned, even when it's really uncomfortable. Now, all of this is frequency. And as we have been diving deep into these last couple of weeks together here on The Rise Show, Christmas has a beautiful way of mirroring all this for us. All the emotions getting amplified, probably highs and lows, and then we have everything that comes in between. So yes, togetherness can feel so nourishing if we spend time in surroundings and environments and circles that matches our truth and a more love-based reality. It can also reveal where we are out of alignment. Let's just say this season surely can bring in contrast, closeness and distance, joy and grief, gratitude and longing, connection and boundaries. And none of that is wrong. It's when we start to make things good or bad, right or wrong, when we get in trouble, energetically, emotionally. So in fact, as with everything in the world of personal growth and spirituality, we can view it as an invitation to learn something new about ourselves, about each other, about the world. An invitation to notice where and with who do I feel like myself. Before we go deeper, I want to share something gently. Light Weeks for Rise Mastermind, the Golden Bridge Experience, are officially open. This is a 90-day identity, leadership, and expression mastermind for the woman who knows she's ready for her next level, but wants to enter it with softness, brilliance, and clarity. December is our grounding space, a gentle portal where you reflect, purify, and prepare yourself for what you're stepping into. There is no pressure, no pushing, just resonance, readiness, and extra time for reflection and your journey of becoming. If you've been feeling the pull and call toward a higher version of you, toward more inner power, more radiance, more expression, more sovereignty, and you long for more support and sharing the journey with other rising women, Light Weeks and the Bridge may be exactly what your next chapter is asking for. You can explore everything and apply through the link in show notes. Okay, let's drop back into the episode. Where and with who do I feel my heart open naturally? Where and with who do I feel myself closing, tightening, going into performing mode? Presence is the bridge here. Gratitude is not about pretending that everything is perfect. It's so much more than just jotting down 3 speedy things you're grateful for. Now, don't get me wrong. I love gratitude practices. I do them daily myself. I teach them as embodiment practices for clients, but in a way more intentional and elevated way. It's a practice that will force us in a very good way to get in touch with what high frequency and love truly feels like, because gratitude puts us on the same frequency as love. It's about anchoring into what is real, supportive, and true to you right now. And when we choose gratitude from truth, not from obligation, our nervous system settles, our frequency stabilizes, and our heart softens. That's why love and gratitude are such powerful practices and frequencies. They bring us back into the body, back into the moment, and back into ourselves. I'm in a big season of practicing doing less. This is the feminine art of being, and it's a natural evolution for me, coming from many years of practicing simply being, the art of being, as a very huge contrast to being massively ambitious and driven by nature at the same time. So for me, I need to be very intentional about my energy. And I'm a very passionate woman. There are many things I love. There are many things I love to do. December and Christmas, with all its magic and beauty, happen to be one of all the things. So perhaps you can relate. So for me, let's say Christmas. I will paint a picture of all the things I desire to do, and then recognizing that, well, actually the list I created, and I'm speaking about my pleasure and delight list here, I have not yet done half of all the stuff I'd love to do that I envisioned I was going to do. So do I want to put my focus on the things I have not done yet and get frustrated and upset about it? Or do I intentionally want to direct all my focus for the things I have done, that I have accomplished, that I have enjoyed, the things I'm doing right now in the present moment that have filled my heart, that is filling my heart, and let that pulse of love and gratitude be the frequency that lead my days in every single area. Because you know it, where you put your focus, this is where everything, energy will grow. So where do we put our focus? And to stay very aware of how our focus affects our direct experience of life and the world. Because lack is such a sneaky thing, and it brings us out of love in a second. However, we can just as quickly, in an instant, consciously direct our mind, thoughts, emotion, energy, and frequency into abundance. So, simplicity. Isn't that the sexiest word? Just keeping it simple, choosing ease, choosing calm. Remember all the things we have to be grateful for. Because there will always be things we want to do, and that's beautiful too. You know, drive is something natural within us as humans. But to remember the power of the pause, which is a forever topic that we will always come back to because it anchors us again in the present moment. So just let everyday experiences, they can be so small and seem to be insignificant, but as a whole, it amplifies. Everything will compound day by day, month by month, and so on. And let this example illustrate how you, me, we, in an instant can choose presence over performance, truth over obligation, love as alignment. And here's what I want to leave you with today. Frequency is not something that happens to you. It's something you choose. You choose it in a million of different ways. How you speak to yourself. What's the tone of your inner self-dialogue? And we're actually speaking about how you speak to yourself internally and externally too. What you choose to tolerate. And remember that a new standard is always available for you. And what you desire. Not talking yourself out of what you truly want. How honest you allow yourself to be. Examining where you're at without judgment. Just be the observers, be the witness of what's going on inside of you. How present you are, willing to stay, deciding to not close your heart and harden, but deciding to stay open and receptive. And living on the frequency of love doesn't mean life is always soft or easy. It doesn't mean that we never get challenged, we never get triggered, we never get out of alignment. That's not even the goal at all. It is about living and leading an authentic life and recognizing that it requires strength, divine patience, and bold courage, and to be willing to choose again, and to choose again, and to choose as many times you need to choose again to really, really set a new standard that is aligned with your highest truth. This is true for every season of our lives, not just the holidays during Christmas. So all of this, authenticity at its core, means that you are anchored. It means that you are aligned. It means that you're leading yourself from truth. And from that place, gratitude becomes the most natural thing. You will feel rich, regardless of what's going on. Even when you are triggered, you will be able to anchor into something that makes you remember your divinity and all the things you do have, all the things you are. And those are the things to be grateful for right now. That then makes presence becomes available and togetherness becomes something that's so nourishing. This is how we live with an open heart, not by giving ourselves away, but by staying true to who we are and choosing to remember who you were before the world told you who to be over and over and over and over again, as many times it takes. And again, I mean, this is a forever practice. And we get to, as I always say, we get to practice together. And that just makes things way more easier, interesting, and also fun and nourishing. So if this conversation has been speaking to something deep within you, if you be feeling a call toward, deeper alignment and a deeper connection to yourself, to your dreams and visions, to your truth, and to more embodied conscious leadership, know this, those feelings live within you for a reason, no matter what season you are in. I notice and feel so clearly that the women who are stepping into my world right now, they are not looking for more inspiration or information. They are responding to a frequency that longs for another level of fulfillment, for full, free, embodied expression of their brilliance, for fierce feminine power and personal freedom. Now, this is a frequency of truth, of magnetic presence, of conscious choice, of elevated circles. If you feel the resonance in these words that I'm speaking, I invite you to explore Rise Mastermind, the Golden Bridge experience, an intimate, high-frequency, 3-month experience for visionary women stepping into feminine leadership, identity expansion, brand power, and sovereignty. Women who understand that who you surround yourself with is one of the most potent frequency multipliers there is. We begin mid-January, and if this resonates, I'd love to welcome you into this space. You'll find everything you need to know in the show notes. Thank you so much for sharing this moment with me. Your presence here means more than you know. May this season meet you with softness, truth, and love. And may you allow yourself to live with an open heart, grounded and embodied as who you truly are. I'll see you next week for our final episode of the year, the 2026 activation. Until then, Merry Christmas. If you loved this podcast, please go ahead and subscribe. That way you get updates anytime I post a new episode. And if you're feeling extra generous, go ahead and share this with a sister you know needs to hear this message and leave a review. It would mean so much, as I love to envision a world with more feminine, embodied leaders. If you're looking to further grow, evolve, and expand your life and business, connect with me on Instagram and sign up for my Rise newsletter. Get ready to receive special announcements, inspiration, high vibe self-empowerment, tips, hacks, and tools on how to become the woman you most want to be right into your inbox. Link in the show notes. Until next time, have a gorgeous week.